before you vote, I want to go through the next steps, because that's important, because we've already accomplished a lot of it. And our next steps were you're there, don't look at it. The next steps were to present the strategic plan to the PLP directors, and that was the survey. So that's done. We did that. Use these documents in the PLP plan of service to be submitted to the state. You will see that. You've seen it if you looked at the plan of service. The plan of service is the plan of service. But that was one of the reasons we wanted it done, so that our plan of service to the state actually matched what we've been doing, which was putting together this document, and we could use it to move forward for next year. And then present these documents with a keynote address at the PLP annual meeting. We did that, scheduled for May 14th. So we've already done that. And the last thing is to develop an action plan. And we were going to do a presentation today, but we have a new executive committee, and this is really their year to help work on the plan, on the action plan. Also, management partners agreed when we did the contract with them to help us design activities to move forward. So we have one more meeting that we'll be having with the executive committee probably in June with management partners to kind of lead us forward. And I've already assumed some of the actions in the plan of service. So the whole thing is going to fit together nicely, I hope.
And just before we keep promising a vote, but one other comment is that I hope that that today and then over the weekend and the next week as you think, ideas for ways in which PLP would be useful to you, specific ways, would come to you, and that you would send those to PLP to look at. For example, I have unfortunately given a layoff notice to an extremely bright young librarian who has been redesigning our website for us, who's trained in Drupal, who understands libraries in and out. I have plan A, but it might fail to keep him. And so, and I probably will be able to keep him on part-time, but having, if PLP were to kind of take him on as a potential consultant, I think some of you might want to use some of his time, and you could procure his time much simpler by contracting with PLP than by trying to hire him as an individual consultant, trying to find, putting things out to bid, and spending more money than it's going to spend on him to justify hiring him, etc. I think a lot of us have some ideas that are right now ideas about things that are happening to us right now, where you could think, if I could purchase this through PLP instead of having to, go through our internal expensive processes, that would help me. Or if I could get this kind of expertise from PLP, that would help me in the next 12 months. Any ideas you have like that, please send them forward as soon as you can. Talk with your staff about it, because I think there's a lot of opportunity that we could. One of the great things about PLP and Linda and Terry is, they make things happen and make things happen quick. So let's keep that in mind, please. Okay, I would like a motion to approve the strategic plan.
So moved.
Second. All right, any further discussion? With that, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And thank you very much. And I think that's a really major accomplishment for our new organization. And I need to check what we're doing now. I think that we're going to jump ahead a little bit because our timing is working well, and ask Library-Bray, who's here from the State Library today, to give us a report and update before our lunch break. So Ira, thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's going to be brief. I hope lunch will be here soon because I don't have that. I can't cover a whole lot more. I have just a few brief announcements, and then Linda asked me specifically to talk about the Public Library Fund Maintenance of Effort scenario, because apparently there are questions about that, so we're just going to talk about that rather mundane bureaucratic process, which hopefully you will be interested in hearing. Two announcements from Stacy, and these are very brief. She's going to follow up soon with a more elaborate announcement, so this is just sort of giving you a heads up. We just received the money from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for the Opportunity Online project, which you may know something about. There are two parts to that. Part of that was a direct grant to libraries who had very low connectivity to get them up to at least 1.5 and hopefully beyond. But there are also other parts of that grant that involve all the libraries in the state, not just those that are suffering low connectivity. So Stacy will be coming out with more details about what that is going to look like and how it's going to go forward in the coming month and year. We also, the state library, are undergoing a strategic plan process. Where'd Arnie go? I think we have a consultant. There's a meeting, a summit, June 15th and 16th, and each of the CLSA executive directors have been invited. So Stacy wanted you to know that they are your conduit to express to us your needs, desires, comments, suggestions, ideas about the state library and how it serves you, the relationship between the state library, your library, state library, CLSA systems. So Linda will be there, we hope, and will be part of that process. So those are the two brief announcements from Stacy. LSTA. How many of you applied for LSTA for this coming year? Not a few. We actually received more than we expected. We really thought, I thought we were going to see a lowering of the numbers because of the constraints that everyone is on. But we pretty much got similar to the number we got last year. We are trying to work through the process of review, which is complicated as you can imagine. And we're, as you are short-staffed, we've lost 3 days a month for everyone. So the process is, say, lurching forward. Our target date is June the 1st to inform the field June the 1st of what grants have been awarded and what's going on there. Hopefully we will meet that. No promises, but we're working hard to do that. I'm working on the Local History Digital Resources Project because that's my baby. But there's also the LSTA competitive grants we work through and the statewide grants. So we each have specialty targeted grants programs and then competitive grant programs and statewide grant programs. And each of those processes are slightly different. We're trying to run them all at the same time and come to a conclusion on those soon. Let's see. I should say something about Snapshot Day. Do any of you know about Snapshot Day? Okay. That is coming up, and I was invited to be part of the team on that. So I will be helping with that, and it's Monday, October the 4th. So look at that. I want to mention Mountain View. I mentioned this earlier. They have this wonderful page on their website that says, this is a typical day in our library. This is the number of people we serve. These are the number of people that come in for programs, a lot of outputs and services. So that's kind of a great example. It's for all libraries. It's not just for public libraries. So you'll see as we sort of work out the questions, they're going to be a little bit different flavor than what you might see in the annual public library survey. And thank you all again for working on the annual public library survey. And that's my segue to again remind you that that data is out there. We now have the California Library Statistics 2009 PDF on our website. We have the data files on our website. We have the links to dynamically generated reports from Counting Opinions on the State Library Statistics webpage. You all remember what that looks like, but it's all there.